All right, guys, Nick Sean here with Mission Effects. So right here, NFP is literally about to occur. We're going to be going NFP here in 4 minutes. So I'm in an AUD USD trade right now, and yeah, I'm going to break it down. Do me a favor, just hit the like button on this video real quick, just for the algorithm, so we can get the video pushed out and stuff. And yeah, so let's go over this trade. So long-term AUD USD has been an uptrend. It's been an uptrend for quite some time, pretty much since COVID of last year. So roughly 10 months ago, yeah, so about 10 months been an uptrend. Price has been kind of in a rangy pullback phase for the past month. I'm anticipating at some point, I'm going to cross our fingers, I'm going to say a prayer to the Forex gods. At some point, it's probably going to start turning back up. I've taken 3 trades here that have been stopped out the first week I started sharing trades. This one, I took partial profits. I got back the losers here, and then the rest came back for break even. And then this week, I've taken 2 stop outs on this trade. This one was kind of annoying. It barely pinned the stop loss last night before going to profit. And now I'm currently in a buy here right now. So normally I wouldn't trade right before a major news event like a NFP, since it's a USD news event. It typically causes a lot of volatility on USD pairs. However, since the risk reward on this one is so good, it's literally a 1-43. If NFP gives us a spike in my favor and starts going into profit, I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, that would be like some nice profit. And if it doesn't, if the spreads widen out too much here in a few minutes, or like it spikes downwards and it goes the other way, then it'll just hit the stop loss. It'll be a small stop out. But so while I would normally not be trading right before a major news event, the fact that there's so much upside potential in this, I mean, this thing could shoot up like 30, 40, 50 pips and give us like a couple $1,000s of profit right now. That would be cool. And if not, the risk is capped right here, right below the recent lows. So the reason I took this trade was pretty simple. So again, H4 and daily chart, price is just an uptrend, just looking for buys. Price is broken above this recent daily high right here, and it's come back and started like finding some sort of support right in here. So I'm thinking this level may be holding as support. I've went into the 1 hour and I found this zone right here. I think that for whatever reason, this zone, it was a previous support here, broke below, retested as resistance, but then broke back above, came up and found some support. That's where I entered this last night. I thought it was just going to turn into like a break and retest trade for an upwards continuation. So it ended up going initially, and then while I was asleep last night during London session, let's go to sessions indicator. So yeah, like midway through, it looks like was this London or Asian session? This was late Asian session, it looks like. So yeah, so this is before I went to bed last night. So yeah, so it came, stopped out, it is what it is, and then it ended up just going right back up into profit. So that's that. And then currently now, the reason I've taken this trade, we've just had like a break above this support resistance level here, a retest. There was some rejection. I entered after the rejection on the minute 15. So all this really boils down to is just a break and retest within an uptrend. That's literally it. So here's what I'm kind of like anticipating here. This news gets released in 1 minute. So 1 minute from now, so it's 7:30 a.m., right? It's going to get released, and then this pair, AUD/USD, I'm anticipating it's going to spike pretty strong in one direction. If it spikes against me, I'll take a small stop loss. If it spikes in my favor, then it'll be like disproportionately large winner. It'll be like a little bit winner, a little bit more profit than it would be in loss. So I'm just going to keep my eye on it here. This is the only trade I'm in. There's a couple other trades that I was wanting to get into as well. We'll be watching this live as it occurs right here in just a minute. And then also there's a Euro USD. I wanted to get an entry right here. Euro USD has been in like a daily 4-hour uptrend for quite some time. It's broken previous resistance in the daily. It's coming back, retesting as support. On the 1 hour, I was just finding an entry here. We broke above recent highs, so this support resistance level, and price came back and started bouncing. So this is another very simple like break and retest during the uptrend right here. I didn't get an entry right here. I didn't want to enter now, because if I enter now, the risk score to be 1-21. That's great, yeah. However, if I wait for an entry down here, I'm trying to like move this down. If I wait for an entry down here, the risk reward is so much better. It's like a 1-50 if the stop is just below the zone and the entry's at the zone. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. I'm waiting on an entry there. So now let's see what NFP does. It looks like it just got released, or it's getting released right now. So we're going to see probably a big spike on this, either up and down. We'll also see wider spreads. And this will be the conclusion of the trading week. This will be the last trade that I likely take this week, unless EU sets up today. So let's see what happens. So you can see NFP is occurring right now. Spreads are getting a little bit bigger. We don't have any news right here. Let's see. So worse than expected news. So what that should typically mean is, since the news is worse than expected, what we should see is USD pairs should see a little bit of bearish pressure. We've already got one of them right here, USD SEK, starting to go down. Same with USD CNH, USD Canadian dollar, USD JPY. And that means that the pairs that have USD as the cross pair right here, like where USD pairs the second pair, these ones should see some bullish pressure. So we're starting to see a little bit of bullish pressure right now based on that worse than expected NFP news events. What I'm kind of looking for is I'm looking for price to push maybe up into this area. And then if this does occur, I'm probably I have an alert sitting right here. I want to take some profits here at this zone. I want to peel out at least what I lost this week because I lost a couple trades, and we'll actually go through them right now. So I'm going to continue watching this. So just like I was sharing with you guys in Telegram, the NFP news was coming out. However, the potential for profit was a little bit more than it was for the potential for loss. Usually during NFP, you'll see pairs like 80 US dollar maybe spike, maybe 20, 30 pips in one direction. I don't know how much this will end up being because we're still kind of moving right here. Sometimes it'll just go up barely. Sometimes it'll make a huge spike back and forth. Kind of depends on how disproportionate the actual results are. So let's go in here. Let's refresh the page here real quick and then see what the actual numbers were. It popped up here on the screen. It's worse than expected, but all right, we'll just let this load here. Okay, well, while that's loading, we'll just go. So this one, it looks like it turned out that it just so happened to have been going in our direction. So we'll kind of see how this plays out. Anyway, let's do a recap of this past trading week while we kind of let this play out. So I'm going to go here to my terminal here. This is my Oanda terminal. Let's go to transaction history and let's scroll back through, I think, January 31st. So yeah, January 31st, that was the beginning of this week. And again, all these trades were shared live here in my Telegram channel. So if you want to see pictures of my trading analysis with audio messages, complete with pictures of my French Bulldog, then you can join my Telegram channel where I literally trade live for free on a daily basis from now until the foreseeable future. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. And then you got to watch my free training video. It's about half an hour long, kind of teaches you how I trade, how to structure your trading system. And after you watch that, at the end of the video, you will get a link to join the Telegram channel. You have to follow the directions. You have to watch the whole video. So just follow the instructions and you can get a link. You can follow my trades for free. But I called all these out live in Telegram. So it goes back to January 31st, which was the beginning of this week. So let's go there. So this is the 31st. And the first trade that I called out was New Zealand dollar JPY. I called a buy. And then I closed a portion of the position right here. That's why it says sell with $250 profit, and the rest came back at break even. So let's go and look at that New Zealand dollar JPY trade. Let me drag this downwards a little bit so we can get a bigger chart. So New Zealand dollar JPY. This was a very simple trade. I won't spend a ton of time on it. And plus the full analysis is in Telegram. You can just scroll back up here to January 31st or February 1st? Or no, it was January 31st. And you can scroll, back up in here and you can see the full analysis with the audio message. But essentially, price is in an uptrend. It had broken and retested this daily support resistance area. It was previous resistance. Price came back, tested as support, started to bounce. I took a buy right there, it was like literally right when market was opening. And price went into some profit. After it went into some profit, I closed out some partial profits and then set the stop loss to break even. So I closed out $250 on the way up to kind of like cover my initial risk. And then price came back and then it pinned me out at break even. And then it was kind of funny. It ended up just bouncing and going up from here. I was looking for another trade here, but I never got an entry. I woke up this morning, price had already gone up. So I didn't take this trade right here specifically. I'm kind of still waiting to see if it'll come back to the zone. But I did take this trade, made some profit on it. Rest came back at break even. So this one resulted in like $250 of winner. And then we had another trade here. Let's go look at the next one, which was GBP JPY. So I took a buy. And then you can see right here, I know it says sell right here. And what that means is that it converted the buy order into a sell order. So it closed the trade. That's what it means when it's sell at a loss. So we'll go look here to GBP JPY. And this was the trade. I put an LOL here because it ended up continuing up, but it stopped me out first before the move up. I've only been searching for buys on GBP JPY for like the past month. I had this great trade in here first week in Telegram. I shared it's like a 1 to 20 risk reward ratio profit. Second one here, this resulted in a break-even trade, and then this one right here stopped out. So I was anticipating that GBP JPY was going to continue up, so I was only looking for buys. It had broken above like this horizontal support resistance area here, and then once it broke above, came back a retest, it started to bounce. I thought price was just going to start bouncing from right there. So it did initially. It bounced like once, twice into profit, and then it came back and hit the stop loss. I believe during London session. Was that London session? Let's go see what the session it was. Oh, no, that was during New York session. So that was during New York session. So that stopped out. And yeah, and it went down a little bit, ended up going up. There was like never an entry presented in here. So I didn't get an entry anywhere. So yeah, it ended up continuing up. It's whatever. I thought it would go up anyway, but it is what it is. So that was GBP JPY right there, and we'll check back on AUD USD real quick. So that's in some nice profits right now. So this has already covered most of the losers we've had this week. This week was slower. There was a couple losers. I'm still going to wait for it to push up a little bit more before peeling out some partial profits. It's a 1-to-43 risk reward ratio with a final target at a daily higher high. I don't want to sacrifice a lot of the profit potential, but I'll go ahead and share it in here. I'll put like what AU, and I'll put like a little AOK sign. So there's that. So we'll keep on monitoring this here in a second. And if it does get up to this alert or just maybe this previous high, I'll look to just book out some partial profits to kind of pay for the losers this week. And then maybe we'll end the week in slight profit or break even or something. But anyway, so that was NJ and GBP JPY. And let's look at the next trade I called. So I called a New Zealand dollar USD trade, called a buy. And this trade was kind of janky. And the reason I say it was kind of janky is because it stopped me out, even though Oanda's price data never showed that price went to this zone. So the analysis is in a 4-hour daily uptrend. Price has been going up for quite some time, like since like last year. So I'm only looking for buys, and this was the trade that I took. So I took this right here. So all this was pretty much price had broken above this resistance area right here, this previous high, came back, found support initially, started to bounce, came back, found support a second time, and then a third time we had this nice little liquidity spike here. So price went below the zone, probably grabbed some stop loss orders, things like that, but it went below. Typically if it's going to go lower, it'll come and retest and go down. That did not happen. Instead, price broke back above the zone, came up and tested and started to bounce. So I ended up taking this right here as a break and retest here. It looks like kind of on a lower time frame. It was a break and retest of this level. Price had broken back above into the zone. So it broke back above, came up and retested and started to bounce. So I took it as it bounced the second time. Stop loss just below the zone. So you can scroll through my Telegram channel. You can see I was pretty upset about this trade because it shouldn't have been a loser. It should not have been a stop out. It should have been a partial profit with a break even. The interesting thing right here though is that this is how the trade looked on TradingView. Right, you can see like during the Asian session interchange, it pinned back downwards towards my entry, then went up. But the same data from Oanda shows that it went all the way to my stop loss on MetaTrader 4. So that was pretty shady. That was pretty stupid because it didn't even go near my stop loss. But here on MT4, it did. So that was this should not have been a loss. It should have been partial profits closed, and then the rest would have come back for break even. So there was like, I think 60% of you did not get stopped out on this trade. I did a little poll in Telegram. You can scroll back through it and you can just see what the poll said. Of the people who took the trade, I think about 50 to 60% of you guys did not get stopped out. And I gave you guys the advice in Telegram, the suggestion, hey, you might want to book out partial profits right here at the previous high. So I shared that as it was happening. I said, you might want to book partial profits and move the stop to break even. So those of you who did do that, you would have made, at least your initial risk on this trade. So, whatever, if you risked $1,000 in this trade, you would have made like $1,000, and then the rest would have come back and hit a break-even stop loss before this just ended up going downwards. So this still would have been a profitable outcome for most people. However, due to that stupid spread thing that happened with Oanda, and like price, that was the weirdest thing. It's never happened to me before with Oanda. It was very weird. This resulted in a stop out for me. This should have actually been a small profit, but instead it ended up being a stop out. So whatever, on we go. Next trade here was AUD USD. So it was this first trade right here. It was this trade right here, AUD USD. I took this trade because price was in an up. I kind of shared it at the beginning of this, I think. But price is in an overall uptrend. I was just waiting on for price to bounce. I was waiting to find an entry on a break and retest of a support resistance zone. There was this support resistance zone right in here. Price had tried to dip below it, I believe, at the beginning of the week. Yeah, so like right here, tried to dip below it, but it failed to retest and continue down. Broke below, tested up here. It should have gone down right there if it was going to continue in a downtrend, but instead it broke back above the zone and then came and retested. So I was looking to just get an entry at this zone thinking that it might bounce. So yeah, I entered. It did bounce initially, but then it came and grabbed the stop loss during Asian session last night prior to then going into profit. So that was this right here. It resulted in this loss right here. And then we have another trade right here. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. So this trade right here is the one I just explained. This first AUD USD stop out was this one up here. This was the same logic though. It's the same reasoning. It was based on this level right here. So it was a break above these recent highs after price had broken above these recent highs, came back, tested, started to bounce, and I took a buy right there. And this trade still looked fine as well. Like it just didn't work out. It came back, stopped out. It is what it is. So I took that stop out and this stop out. So yeah, there was that. So, and then we had another AUD trade, which was the second one right here. And then what's next? So, and then that's all. So that's everything for this week. The only thing we have open right now is this AUD USD position right here, which is effectively paid for all the losing trades. What I'll do right here is I'm going to screen record a video of all my trading history from this week. Every single one of these trades was called live with full analysis in the Telegram channel. So let me start screen recording here. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're screen recording, and what I'm going to do is I'm over here. This is on the same Oenda account that I've been sharing with you guys. I'm going to go to trading history. I'm going to set it to custom, and I'm going to go to the beginning of this week, which was January 31st, 2021, up till now. So we'll click OK, and we can see the profit minus $764. That's about 3 losing trades. So that's $764 in losses. This is every trade we took. I just went through all this analysis with you guys as well. And here are the open trades. We can see that this one trade right here, this is just in some partial profits right now, right? It's barely in profit. It's just in like a 1 to 3, 1 to 3, maybe almost a 1 to 4 risk reward. So it's barely in profit right now. But this is already paid for like every loser we had last week. So it's pretty good. That's this. So yeah, that's this so far. All right, so now I'll post this in Telegram right now, so that way you guys can go and watch it. But yeah, I mean, that's trading. Like, so every single week has been profitable, with the exception of this one, unless I close some partial profits here right now to kind of bring the week back into break even. I don't want to get out of too much of this trade though, because I've been waiting for that one trade that ends up going into nice profits. I don't want to book out too much profits and cap the upside potential. Obviously, if this does go all the way to a new daily high, like here on the 4-hour daily, I'm thinking like it might go up and make a new high. And if it does, cool. It'll be like maybe like $7,000 worth of profits. It would be like over 10,000 if I kept the full position, but I don't typically do that. I typically scale out partial profits along the way. I'll probably like to scale out some more, like probably like right in here. So I'll set an alert. And yeah, so even though it's a 1 to 43 risk reward ratio, obviously that's probably not going to be the full profit, because we'll be scaling out some partial profits. What this will likely end up being, maybe around a 1 to 25 or 1 to 30 risk reward in terms of profits that'll actually be taken on the trade, counting all the partial scale outs and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how this continues to go. I don't know what'll happen. Again, the only reason I stayed in this trade prior to NFP is because the risk was so small. Literally, the stop was just below this. It just would have been a tiny loss had it stopped out. But the potential upside was way too big to get me to close this trade. So I was perfectly willing to just assume the risk of rolling the dice on NFP and seeing what will happen. It just so happened to play out. Well, FX book just completely shut down. It just so happened to play out in our favor today. But it doesn't always happen that way. However, as long as the winners are substantially nicer than the losers, that's what'll keep you profitable long term. So as you guys can see, a whole week's of losers can be paid back just by like 1 or 2 good trades. Even if I get just like 2 or 3 good trades out of the whole month, like that's perfectly fine with me. It's kind of like Euro USD. Like oh wow, I missed this trade this morning, so I was sharing this with you guys. Yeah, wow, this would already be in some nice profit, probably like 1 to 4. But wow, that's painful to watch. But what I do know is that as long as you trade through all the ups and downs, eventually get some nice winners. I've got some nice winners. This one was like a 1 to 12. I took this back in November. This one over here was like, I didn't make a bunch of profit on this. It was like a 1 to 4, but still it was a nice winner. This one was a 1 to 35, and the actual profits I peeled on this was about like 20. It was like 20 units of reward roughly. And this was I think it was, what is it, beginning of December? Yeah, beginning of December. So every now and then you'll get a good trade where everything just goes like immediately into some huge profits, and you'll never be able to predict which trades those will be. All you have to do is try to find an entry. You have to control your risk. You have to get your stop losses to break even, and then just like let the trade run and play out. Like most of the time, if you're trading this way with very like tight risk rewards, most of the time, like 75 to 85% of the time, the trade is going to end in either a small profit or a break even or a small loss. But roughly 15 to 25% of the time, it'll end in a huge profit. You never know which ones those trades will be, and oftentimes they'll come and pin you out before you're even able to get get that huge winner. But every now and then you'll have one or two trades, kind of like this one starting off to be, that it'll be like a nice little profit, and then everything's better. So yeah, I'm gonna have this trade. I'm gonna take some partial profits, probably at this high right here. What this means is like price will make a higher high up here. At that point, it'll probably be up like maybe like $2,000 in profit. I'll peel out some partial profits. I think what I'm probably going to take is I'll probably take out $1,000 of profit. What that'll do is that'll effectively wipe out all of the losing trades this week with a little bit of profit. So that'll be good. And then we'll also have an open winner that can run to maybe the final target and maybe give me another 20 units of reward or so. So we'll see how this goes. And yeah, that's it. As far as next week, my outlooks for next week, all I'm looking for is I'm still looking for GBP JPY buys. So I'm looking for GJ and GU buys, which these things are still continuing up. Euro USD, I'm still looking for buys. It's painful to watch this go into profit. I just woke up like, what was it, like an hour too late. I woke up at 5:30 a.m. this morning. If I'd woken up at 4:30, I would have been able to have found this entry down here. But I don't want to like take it and have like a 1 to 20 when I could be getting a 1 to 50 risk reward if I just had the patience to wait for an entry. So I don't know. I'll probably just find another zone to enter this at. So I'm still looking on for EU buys. You will see how that goes. And then I'm also here. I'm looking for AUD USD. I'm already in a buy on AUD JPY. I'm looking for buys. I have an alert set at this zone. I think it may come back here, and if it starts bouncing, I'll look to enter. Technically already happened. If you go to the minute 15 chart, it's already bounced here. So this break and retest during the uptrend has already worked out fine. New Zealand dollar JPY, this has already left the zone. Oh my God. It's like 2 trades that I've missed just because I woke up a little bit later than usual. All right, and then USD CNA for New Zealand dollar USD. I'm still looking for buys, but everything's kind of rangy and sloppy right now. I'm just gonna wait for a clear level to get established. So USD CNH, I'm still looking for sells. I'm kind of waiting on a break below this current horizontal zone. I think a break below this zone down here, I've got an alert below it. A break below this zone followed by a retest, and then for price to find some resistance. That'll be cool. That's what I'm gonna be waiting for. USD SCK. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Did I miss this as well? What the hell? No way. Okay, wow. All right, so missed this trade as well. This is, yeah. Sorry, you guys are hearing me pause. You guys are hearing me in like a state of shock because I've missed 3 trades. That would be up like probably $4,000 right now. I mean, we still got AU, so this one's up like $1,000 right now. So this one is still going all right. Once it gets up probably somewhere in here, like I said, I'll book out partial profits. But wow, so many trades that I was waiting on and I didn't get an entry. This one would already be in like probably like 1,500 profit. Anyway, all right, this is not Pokemon. You won't always be able to catch them all, but it is what it is. So yeah, anyway, wow. So trading week that was kind of slow ended up coming out with a banger right here with everything, coming back. So awesome. But yeah, that's it. I'm still looking for the same types of trades, and I'll still continue trading live here on Telegram. If you like every damn thing I'm doing for free with the Telegram and YouTube videos and all this free content engaging with you guys, just hit the damn like button on the video. Just go right now, click the like button. If you're not subscribed, which about 60% of you who watch my videos, for whatever weird reason you're not subscribed, what the hell? Click the subscribe button. If you would like, turn on the notification bells, and every time I upload a video, you'll be the first to get the analysis so that you can stay informed following my trades and stuff. To join this free Telegram channel, I will say it again, click the link in the description of this video. Just watch the free training video. It is 30 minutes long. I teach you literally step by step how to go about structuring your trading system. I then offer you the chance to become a paid member of my program, but you don't have to. As long as you finish that video and click the link at the end, you will get a link to this Telegram channel, which you can follow all my trades and analysis in detail with complete full audio messages. So much free content right here. You can have it all for free. If you just click the link in the description, watch my free training, and follow the directions. That is it. And then maybe a couple of you will end up becoming paid clients of mine and over here at Mission Effects, and we can do live sessions and stuff like that. So, all right, well, that's all I got for you guys. This one's going well. I'll share my updates about this in the Telegram channel, and make sure you hit the like button. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.